Hello everyone, my name is Pickle and welcome back to Warhammer 40k Darktide. Today we're going to take a little second in this video to just talk about the state of the game and what the hell is going on. Because if you are out of the loop, much like I was until this week, the community is not very happy with this game with a bunch of reasons why. Failed promises like saying that they would have the crafting system finished by now. Not a lot of content, no endgame to speak of whatsoever, no subclasses whatsoever to each main class, and just overall a lack of content. So we're going to start this off by talking about the open letter that was just released today, January 24th, at the time of me making this video, to the players. And it reads, "We take enormous pride in our ability at Fatshark to deliver a game that millions can enjoy. This is what we set out for to do with Warhammer 40k Darktide. To create a highly engaging and stable game with a level of depth that keeps you playing for weeks, not hours. We fell short of meeting those expectations. Over the next few months, our sole focus is to address the feedback that many of you have. In particular, we will focus on delivering a complete crafting system, a more rewarding progression loop, and continue to work on game stability and performance optimization. This also means we will delay our seasonal content rollout and the Xbox Series X and S launch. We will also suspend the upcoming release of premium cosmetics. We just couldn't continue down this path knowing that we have not addressed many feedback areas in the game today. Thank you for playing and providing feedback. We really appreciate it. It has and will continue to help shape the game we love." So there's a lot in this, and I'm just going to break it down. So first of all, them saying that they wanted to make a complete game that was engaging is always a good start. We all know that, and honestly, a lot of the love that they put into it shows, because Darktide, we're going to talk about some of the pros here. Darktide itself is a good game that is the most engaging 40k universe and the most believable just interpretation of the world I've seen in a video game. And I want to say props to them. They're very good on making sure that the lore is respected and stuck to, and it definitely feels more 40k than I ever could have imagined. When they say they fell short on expectations dealing with the crafting system, more rewarding gameplay loop, and then also performance optimization, we're just going to break those three down real quick. First of all, the crafting system. If you are unaware, Darktide was supposed to have a crafting system initially at launch, kind of like Vermintide 2's, but they, for some reason, have not put it out yet, and they said it would be done by December. I will put up the tweet or the Reddit post or wherever I can find them saying that it would be done by the end of December, and then it did not get finished by the time that holidays came around and they went on their long holiday. So they are obviously deserving of their holiday. I don't want to promote grind or crunch culture because it's toxic and horrible for mental health of the workers. But they definitely overpromised that it would be done by that time, which sucks. And I'm really excited to get the crafting a little bit more hammered out, because right now we just have just the re-perk, or like re-rolling a single perk, or just upgrading things from a different rarity. We cannot craft our own weapons, we cannot re-bless anything, we can't earn a blessing, we can't do anything else to these weapons, and we can't like add attachments or anything like that. But I honestly do not believe that's going to be a feature added in the future. So they also said they will delay the seasonal content rollout, which probably means the season pass they were planning to put into the game, which I agree with. I definitely think that at this point in the game, you need to stop trying to monetize yourself and just focus on finishing what is already there, which is a good move by them. It sucks that they are delaying the Xbox and console launch for this game in general, because I know there's a lot of my friends personally that have been waiting to play it on console. I know that there are plenty more doing the same. And then they also said they would suspend upcoming releases of premium cosmetics. Another great choice, because you want to finish working on what is there. You don't want to try and squeeze out microtransactions from people for a product you're not proud with, which I knew that they would probably make an announcement about the crafting system, but I didn't actually expect them to just cut off, you know, releasing new cosmetics and the season pass and stuff like that, which is great. This is great. I got to give them a tip of the hat for that. That is something that financially probably is not an easy thing to do, but, you know, it's something. And we got an update from it, just in general from the development team on the progress of all these things. So kudos to them for at least telling us something. Now, how happy am I with these news? I think it's a step in the right direction, and it's good that they're actually saying something to us, but I will start being happier once more content is in the game. I want the crafting system, I want more levels and more modifiers, and I want it easier to get some loot. It's hard to get those gold tier weapons, and it costs way too much to upgrade things in general. So overall, I love Darktide. I do. From the bottom of my heart, I put a lot of hours into this game, and I will continue to play it because I love the gameplay loop itself right now. I do believe this thing has a good core to be a great, fantastic game in general. It just needs a little bit more time in the oven, if you will. It needs a little bit more work. And I feel like once Fatshark puts out that content, it will reach what we wanted it to be in the first place, which is what we all want. We don't want this game to just be dropped and killed and just gone forever, where they just stop supporting it. And if we look at Vermintide, it definitely shows something that a lot of us probably should have expected going into Darktide in the failed promises department. There was a lot of times they said that they would have something ready by X time, and then it just never happened. They usually go radio silent and then have a substantial update, you know, months and months apart. So the fact that we're even getting something out of them is pretty substantial. And I think something that really caused them to say something was the fact that on Steam right now, the recent reviews for this game are under mostly negative. And for those of you that have used Steam a lot in the review system, it does not mean that they are saying that they think the game sucks or it's bad. It's that people can't in good conscience recommend it. And right now, with the direction it has been going, I completely understand people not wanting to support or recommend this game to their friends and their family, because while it is a good game and one of the best interpretations of the 40K franchise, it has a lot of issues and needs a lot of work before I would even in good conscience recommend it to my friends. At this point, there's only 8 missions with, I want to say a couple modifiers for missions, but it only seems to be the added hounds right now, and I don't know if that's a glitch or not, or maybe I'm just not on enough to see other ones. But I mean, overall, the damnation difficulty is ridiculously hard. Heresy is pretty standard. I like playing on Heresy mainly, or Malice, just to get that grind in. I feel like Damnation's definitely a little too hard unless you have a full group. It's hard to do with randoms, and I feel like there definitely needs to be a little bit more balancing to this game. And optimization. When this game launched, its optimization was pretty atrocious. I was, on average, I have a i7 9700F and a 2070 Ti with 64 gigabytes of RAM, and honestly, I was getting a lot of frame drops, a lot, and I wasn't able to keep a consistent 60, even at 1080p. When I was at 1080p, I was getting like 40, 50 frames a second. It was bad. Now, I am happy to say that the optimization has definitely improved since then, and I can say that there have been a lot of bugs and glitches and server disconnection codes that have been dealt with, and there have been improvements. And since launch, they have added another mission. They've added a couple new weapons. They've added one patch, which is great, but I feel like there are some things that just need to be addressed in the community first before we start adding more to the mix. It feels lackluster at the moment, and definitely the missions, they feel great, but at the same time, they don't. Like, I don't know if that makes sense. Like, if you play one mission and only look at that one mission, it feels great. But then if you play every single one of the missions, they start feeling a little bit samey. There's definitely a lot of the same map reused, which isn't an issue. You know, you're in the same area of Tertium. So overall, it lore-wise, it would make sense. So I'm not going to complain too much about that with the maps being reused. But it definitely feels weird that we only have 8 missions. When I believe Darktide, or Vermintide too, my apologies, when it launched, I think it had 12, maybe 16. I'm not sure. Someone let me know. I didn't get into Vermintide 2 until much later into its life cycle. But yeah, so I expect that we'll probably, over the next month, probably not get anything from Fatshark. I definitely think we're going to be getting probably a substantial little optimization and change update, or just a good content chunk soon. But I think it's still probably a month or 2 away. And then I feel like they'll give out a big old update, finishing off the game, and it'll leave its unofficial early access, and they can start working on more content, like releasing the season pass, and then, you know, putting out more cosmetics and more missions and more weapons, maybe adding in some more subclasses. So I'm really hopeful for this game's future, but right now, in my opinion, if you are looking to get into this game, unless you are a diehard 40k fan, I would just give this game a couple of months just to finish out and flesh itself out, much like a lot of games in today's day and age, which is sad to say that most games released, they're unfinished. They're buggy, broken messes, and then in a couple weeks, couple months, they're what they should have been at release. And I hate that trend in today's modern gaming. So I really want to just be able to play a game on release and it actually work. And there's very few games that do that. So those are my thoughts and opinions so far on what the state of the game is right now. I definitely have high hopes for the future, but we'll see what Fatshark does and if they actually can keep their promises and make this game what we all want it to be. So my name is ABA Pickle. Thank you guys so much for watching. Share your comments on what you thought about this open letter. Are you disappointed? Is it just, you know, them saying the same thing over and over again? Do you not trust them? I mean, I wouldn't blame you if you didn't, but just let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and subscribe if you want to see more Darktide content. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.